Okay, for this activity, you're probably going to need some kind of pen or pencil and your highlighter, okay? We're going to work on revising and editing in a story like this, but not our regular reading comprehension questions. We're going to be looking at all of those grammar skills and the punctuation skills that we've been practicing, and we're going to figure out how do you do that whenever you look at a passage that's already written. So this is very different than reading a comprehension story like you've done so far. So this says, read the selection and choose the best answer for each question. Sam wrote about his favorite sport. Read Sam's paragraph and look for any changes he should make. When you finish reading, answer the questions that follow. So this story is called Soccer Practice. I want you to notice each sentence has a number. Okay, that's different than what we see in our comprehension passages. Those paragraphs are numbered. Here, every sentence, you're looking at each sentence. You can go ahead and read through the story, but each question is going to ask you to focus on a certain sentence. So go ahead and read. Pilar and I both love soccer, and you read it exactly how it says. We play almost every day at recess. On the weekends, we meet at the park to practice. The first thing we do is warm up. We start our jogging around the field, and then for the last few laps, we run fastest. Then we work on our kicking and passing. Last week, Pilar kicked a ball so high, it went over the goal. Sometimes, if there are other kids at the park, we all play soccer together. Pilar and I are happy when Julia is at the park. Pilar and I are good at soccer, but we think Julia is the better. Playing with Julia helps us learn new things. So I'm going to look at this question. The question says, what change should be made in sentence 5? So the most important thing here is sentence 5, and I'm looking for if I should make a change. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to highlight sentence 5. We start our jogging around the field, and then for the last few laps, we run fastest. Okay? If I look at these four choices, they're all asking me, do I need to change the word fastest? So the first one says to faster. So I would come up here and say, replace fastest with faster. Then I'm going to do the same thing with more fast and then more faster. If you think it sounds good the way it is, then you're going to mark no change. So let's try faster. We start our jogging around the field, and then for the last few laps, we run faster. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to put my maybe. Now let's change it to more fast. We start our jogging around the field, and then for the last few laps, we run more fast. No. Now I'm going to try more faster. We start out jogging around the field, and then for the last few laps, we run more faster. No, I definitely think faster is the best answer, so I'm going to get rid of no change. I'm going to mark my answer here, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to cross off fastest, and I'm going to write faster, just to remind myself I think that's the best answer. Okay. Now I'm going to come down here to question 2. What change should be made to sentence 7? So I know I'm going to look at sentence 7. I'm looking for what change. Come up here, do what I did before, highlight sentence 7. Last week, Pilar kicked a ball so high it went over the goal. Okay. When I come down here to my choices, I notice that every time it's asking me, it's focusing on the word high. Okay. So I got to decide, am I going to change it to higher, highest, most high, or leave it the same because high is correct? Last week, Pilar kicked a ball so higher it went over the goal? No. Last week, Pilar kicked a ball so highest it went over the goal? No. Last week, Pilar kicked a ball so more high it went over the goal? Absolutely not. I think the best way is to keep it the same. So I'm going to put a little check over here. High was correct. I have one more question we're going to work on. Let's move this up and this down. One last question. Question 3 says, what change should be made in sentence 10? Okay, so I know I'm focusing on sentence 10. I come up here, I highlight sentence 10. Pilar and I are good at soccer, but we think Julia is the better. When I look at question 3, it's asking me about the word better every time. So I know that that's my focus. So I'm going to circle that word up here. I'm going to try well, best, most good. If I think it still sounds the same, the way it is, we'll leave no change. Pilar and I are good at soccer, but we think Julia is the well. That does not even sound correct, does it? Pilar and I are good at soccer, but we think Julia is the best. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Pilar and I are good at soccer, but we think Julia is the most good. Nope. I definitely think B is my best choice. I'm going to change it to best. I'm going to come up here and write best. So that's it. Good practicing today. We're going to try one more on the next slide.